Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another DC comic review, and in this DC comic review I'll be covering the Lazarus Planet Omega issue 1, to which we have work done by Mark Waid and Gene Wang. So, moving in, the first things first, does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside of the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give a 7.5 out of 10. And as you can see, there's quite a number of people that you can see on the cover. So moving into next thing, and that is the internal art, to which with this there are actually 2 stories in it, and I'll be covering each story separately. So as the story begins, we see a lot of things are taking place in the Hall of Justice, and we've got Damian Wayne, Robin, along with Black Alice and Monkey Prince, as they have started to encounter King Fireball. And of course, on the other page, we end up going to the Tower of Fate with what's happening there. As we start to move a little bit more further into the story, we see the character of Pigsy make his appearance and is with Zatanna, along with what's happening with Damien. We do somewhat get a reference back to Damien's past in the Robin Rising arc, but of course no comic references in relation to it, because this has actually happened to him once before, and it had to do with the Chaos Shard. Of course, as things progress in the story, we get to see a little bit more, and many of the heroes start to come back from the background to the forefront to help in taking on both Neza and Fireball. And of course, last but not least, a reunion between Damien and Bruce. So, for the first story in this, I gave the internal art a 7 out of 10. I'm now going to move into other little things that make up the story racing. We had in the locations, we had the Hall of Justice. Didn't choose to cover time in this, so time was left out of it, and also comic references. But there was actually a comic reference for the next story that I'll be covering. So for the locations, we got the Hall of Justice and the Tower of Fate. The cast of characters, we of course had Damian Wayne, Monkey Prince, Black Alice, Zatanna, Blue Beetle, of course Blue Devil, Pigsy, Martian Manhunter, and a whole list of other characters, including Bruce Wayne and Damien's reunion, which was really nice to see. DC really need to stop, and I mean permanently stop, destroying these characters, including Damian Wayne, and bring up the real good authors to the forefront, such as Peter J. Tomasi and Dan Jurgens. Like, give us the Super Sons back, the Super Sons we love. But it's nice to see what's happened here with Damien and his old man. And for the overall story rating, for the art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. But for the overall story rating, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the next one. And as we move into the next story, we have the character of Pigsy, along with Monkey Prince or Marcus. And we do get a bit of a flashback here, talking about the events in relation to King Fireball and Neza and what happened between them. I really enjoyed the art in this. It's been pretty consistent, and I am looking forward to when we finally reach Monkey Prince issue 12. And I really hope they bring it in a softcover omnibus, and preferably make it first thing out, because it would be nice to see these additional things added to it. And we get to see how King Fireball actually played a part in bringing Darkseid into the world of sort of like the Monkey King, and also Nezza. Really well executed. And of course, it finishes off. For the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Because there were comic references in this, I decided to note them down. So we had Monkey Prince issue 9, because it's beginning to connect to the Monkey Prince and the Lazarus Planet event, and also the upcoming issue 12. We got no indications of location, even in the past, though it would have helped the story a little bit more, just to know whereabouts this was happening in China with Nezza and King Fireball. It really would have helped improve the story a little bit more. But overall, still quite enjoyed it. Moving into the next one, and that is the cast of characters. Not a very big cast of characters, but did that take away from the story rating? Not at all. We had Pigsy, Monkey Prince, King Fireball. We had Darkseid. We had Calabac make an appearance. So we had members of the Fourth World connected to Jack Kirby. And of course, last but not least, Darkseid. For the overall story rating in this, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Well, until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.